Hello, good evening, everyone. I hope you are doing good. Actually, we're expecting few more participants to join. So just bear with us for another couple of minutes. So after a couple of minutes, we'll start the session. Thank you so much for joining and please bear with us few more minutes. Okay, thank you everyone for the waiting. And so we're going to start our session. So my name is Sanath and I'll be your lecturer throughout your session. Uh, you are joining to a session which we're going to start from a scratch, a tool which is one of the most demanding tool at the world as of now, which is called Power BI. I hope you might have heard of it. Maybe there might be someone who haven't heard of it. Doesn't matter in whatsoever level you're coming from. We'll be starting the session as a scratch level, and you will be able to go to the master's level as our previous students has done it. So we are officially starting our 15th batch, right? So we have completed more than 14 batches as of first, right? All the master course, as well as we had some beginner sessions like moderate level sessions. So, but we are no longer doing that because there's a huge demand for master's level, and we are focusing more on master's level only. So before I start the content of the session, I'll give you a little bit about myself. So my name is Asangadil Shamsunarat. So currently I'm working as a BI head of one of a leading BPO company in Sri Lanka, right? And also I'm pursuing my master's in a foreign country now. So you can contact me through my Sri Lankan number, and also you can contact me through my email address anytime. And also, if you want to contact me, if you want to chat with me of anything, you can also contact me through LinkedIn as well, right? So if I give a little bit about myself, I have already have a master's in business analytics, and I'm right now I'm pursuing my MPhil, and as well as I plan to complete my PhD in coming years. And I have a PhD in business management, and I have completed HND in finance. And I also have a diploma in industrial engineering. I'm a certified Lean Six Sigma black belt, and I'm also a Microsoft certified Power BI and Power Platform professional. And I am one of the three Microsoft certified trainer in Microsoft Power Platform in Sri Lanka. And altogether, I have more than 13 years of experience in manufacturing service as well as in business intelligence domains, right? And while we're doing the session, this is not like a regular introduction session that we do. Like you don't need to like chat anything or like type anything, or you don't need to raise your hand if you have any question. And if you have any question at any moment, you can just unmute yourself and you can ask that question, right? So let's make this a two-way communication session because this is the introduction session. So today we are mostly focusing on giving you the context of what we're going to do and what you will be getting at the end of your session, right? So therefore, if you want to clarify anything, So feel free to unmute yourself and speak up, right? So what are we going to do now, right? So you join to a session called Power BI, and what it give to you, right? So before I go to the in detail level of the course content, I'll show you what you will see as a hierarchical, I mean, as a top level, like a bird eye view, right? So these are the things that you will be getting in a bird eye view. The first thing is we'll be having a comprehensive training program, right? As I mentioned earlier, no prior training experience required in Power BI or any BI or any software engineering knowledge. Nothing is required. We'll be starting from the scratch, right? And we'll be completing the entire Power BI ecosystem. So we'll be learn in later on we'll discuss on that one. So most people think Power BI is just one software or just one tool that you can do visualization, but that's not the case. So Power BI is a tool that combines of multiple tools and some services, right? So we'll be learning entire thing in Power BI. So we'll be learning about what is Power Query. So what is meaning by DAX modeling view, right? What is meaning by the tabular model definition language modeling view, right? And what is meaning by Power Visual, what is meaning by how to data modeling, and we'll be learning about Power BI service, and we'll be learning about gateways, much more things to be learned. So we'll be covering the entire Power BI ecosystem. And this program, it's going to be not like a regular, lecturer doing session that I'll be doing the lectures and you'll be listening from the other end. That's not the case. This is going to be a two-way communication, hands-on experience session, which you'll be doing based on case studies, right? And this is going to be 24-hour training program, right? So today it's going to be only 2 hours, but after that it's going to be like 2.5 hours, and some days there might be more around 3 hours as well, right? So today is the first day. There'll be 9 more days, and those days will be broken down, and I'll show you in the next slides how the dates are being broken down, right? And what is the next thing, right? So here there might be some professionals who have already have experience in Power BI, right? Who might need to go to the next level on their job, or there might be some data engineers, there might be some software engineers, right? You might have heard of those. I mean, those joinees might have heard that in the world of Power BI, the world most recognized Power BI license is the license which you given by Microsoft. This license is known as Microsoft PL300. So if you can remember when I introducing myself, I said I am a Microsoft certified Power BI professional, right? So how you can become a Microsoft certified Power BI professional is you have to get this Microsoft license, or you can say you have to get this PL300 license from Microsoft, right? So during this session, we'll be covering the entire scope that you need to learn to get through the exam of PL300. So this is a license program that you have to go through a quiz. It's an exam actually, online exam. So you have to go through a quiz, right? So it's even though it's like MCQ based question, it's a bit hard exam because there will be someone who will be looking at you. You have to share your screen while you are doing it. So therefore, it's not going to be an easy exam, and also it's like if you have something, it's like a rapid question exam. Like someone will give you try to stress you by giving you a question like that. That sort of exam, the PL300. So, but during this session, we'll be covering everything that you need to get through the PL300 exam, right? So why you need to get a PL300 exam? So what is the advantage? The advantage is, number one is you will get a competitive advantage in the market, right? What does that mean? Like, imagine if you want to go through a job, maybe as a marketing analyst, like, or maybe as a financial analyst, or maybe as a Power BI developer, or like a data engineer, right? So if you want to go through those jobs, right? If you have seen those job advertisement in the LinkedIn or in Indeed, like there are a lot of places you can see job advertisement. Most of them have listed as Microsoft certified professional is an added advantage. Right? What does that mean? If you have the PL300 exam, there's a high chance that you will get hired. That is called a competitive edge. Right? You will be getting a competitive advantage over other candidates. And the next thing is you will be getting lot of freelance opportunities. If you are planning to be a freelancer on Power BI, right? If you're planning to do, let's say, you have Upwork, you have, I don't recommend, but you have Fiverr, right? I recommend only Upwork if you're doing freelancing, or you can just take random projects, like you can have a good network and you can get random projects, right? So if you're planning to get if you are planning to do freelance projects, right? Uh, you have to bid for the project, right? So there will be a lot of freelancers who are gonna do the same thing as you. So you have to bid for the project. So if you have this PL 300 license, so you are still getting a higher opportunity when you are doing freelancing as well, right? So that's why, as if you want to learn Power BI, the next stage of learning Power BI is getting the PL 300 exam. So we'll be covering the entire scope of PL 300 exam, right? And what is the next thing? As I mentioned, this is a two-way communication program, right? So this is not a session that I'll be doing something and you'll be learning something. So this is going to be like 100% two-way communication session, and each and every student will be monitored, right? So this is done for your own good. Like you'll be monitored, like you'll be checking like what are the areas you are lacking on. Maybe you or someone of you might be lacking on Power Query, right? You'll be learning those terms. So don't worry if you don't understand now. You'll be lacking on the writing the formulas. You'll be lacking on picking the perfect visual, right? So all of those will be monitored, and you will be like personally progress tracking plan will be going on, right? So you can see like these are some few of the more recommendation given by my previous students. Like if you want to see, like there are like more than hundreds of recommendation in the LinkedIn, right? You can just go to my LinkedIn page. You can see there are more than 100 of recommendations. Like you can just go to my LinkedIn and just can make a connect with me. Then we can actually uh, have a good connection as well. So there are more than hundreds of recommendations. You can just go through all of them. So if you want to get some idea of someone else, you can just contact some of these professionals and get an idea about the program we have delivered, right? So that's about our previous recommendation some of our students has given us, right? And what's next? At the completion of the certification, you'll be getting two things. Number one is if you just complete the session, that's it, right? Without the assignment, you have complete the session. So you'll be getting this certification, e-certification uh, from us, right? From us in the sense this will be issued by a third party, not we'll be like, we'll just educate, what we do is like we just give the recommendation and this will be issued by third party, and you'll be getting this certification as a completion certificate, right? But I don't recommend you just to get this certification. So there's something more waiting for you, right? So which is called, when you complete the certification, when you go through the training program, and we'll be given an assignment at the end of the session, and if you go through the assignment very well as well, so it's just going to be like two submission has to be done, right? If you complete those two projects, so you'll be getting one more thing, which is a digital credential from a platform called Credly, right? So if I'm not sure how many of you have heard of the term called digital credential. So digital credential is the new way of getting certified to yourself, right? So unlike printed certification, the digital credentials cannot be duplicate and cannot be like what you call like forged, right? So it's like a unique kind of uh, recognition that you will be getting from a world-class company, right? For that one, we'll be giving you the credentials through a company called Credly, right? You can just search it, right? So Credly is a company. I'm sure that you might have heard the company called Pearson, right? So Credly is a company which is run by Pearson, right? Pearson, if you have like, if there's someone who has done international O levels and A levels, who might have learned that Pearson is a, Pearson and Excel like that. Pearson is a company education provider. So Credly is a subsidiary of Pearson company, right? So this Credly certifications, Credly credential, digital credential, are used by Sri Lanka, world leading companies like SAP, Microsoft, Google, IBM, Cisco, right? Those companies are the clients of this Credly platform. And in Sri Lanka, there are only three companies who are using Credly certifications, right? One of them is Sri Lanka Marketing SLM Marketing Institute, right? And there's another company. They don't issue this like organize public training. It's like inside of the organization only. There's another institute, and third one is us, right? So there's only three companies in all entire Sri Lanka who will be issuing this certification. And the benefit of getting this certification is once you get to certification, let's say there's a interview going on, and your recruiter seeing that you have said that you have achieved this certification, they can actually click on that digital credential. You can add it to your CV, or you can add it to your, if you have a blog or something, you can add it over there. Then your recruiter will be able to click on that and see what you have done and how much you have achieved, right? And what you have learned, everything will be visible there. So we'll be issuing that certification credential as well once you successfully complete the uh, assignment as well, right? So that's about the certifications and credential that we're gonna do, right? And also we'll be doing two personal projects as I mentioned, and also we'll be doing some in-house, in-class dashboard development as well. These are some of the sample dashboard our students has developed, right? So if you're interested, I can show you like few more things that we have published, right? So these are some of the dashboard our students has published. Yeah. I'll take you a few only. So this is a dashboard which was developed by for former student based on T20 World Cup 2024 data. Right? This is entirely on Power BI. So this dashboard was, you can see, it's showing you, cricket a dashboard, right? So this is like the batting record happens on like T20 World Cup 2024. And you can see like the players with the most run, batting average, most 50s, who has taken most 50s. Like this is for the world view. And if you want to have just a one country view, you can just click on one country. For an example, if I click on England, you can see these are the players who have scores most runs, most 50s, most high scores, right? Even Sri Lanka, right? That's how you get it, right? Even if you click on one of these person, if you just who are you most wanting to click, it will show you the details of that person as well, right? Same goes for bowling records, right? You have bowling record for all, right? So you can see details of those persons. And we have something called other record, right? Who are the players with more dismissal, most catches, right? So these are the record, right? Highest partnership by wicket, which was the one with the best partnership by the wicket, which you can actually filter by the country as well. Right? Like this, you'll be able to filter those things. And the team record, which are the highest total and standings, right? And the matches, right? You have multiple matches. You can pick any match, and you can see where that match happened. Like this is Sri Lanka versus Netherlands match, and Sri Lanka has won, and this is the player of the match. Everything is included in the Power BI report, like just one. And I'll show you like another one or two more. Right? This is a dashboard which he has, which we have created. This is an in-class dashboard we have created actually. So this is a dashboard we have created, measuring the space, what do you call that? The space records, right? How many rockets has been sent to space from 1957 to 2022, right? You can see how many countries has in all, how much money has spent by the company, and how was the trend of that one, how much has they spent, right? And what are the most used rockets on those missions, right? So this is actually a simple dashboard which I have created to show the record of the space explorations of the history, throughout the history, right? And one more I'll show you, and this is yeah, let's see this one. I'm just randomly picking these things. And this is a dashboard which has done by our student who is in Dubai, right? About good issues, good like basically like inventory management dashboard, right? And yeah, there's a one more interesting dashboard. This is a dashboard which was created by a doctor, right? So there was a student in our class. He is actually a doctor in another hospital. He has created a dashboard about HIV, right? So this is about HIV dashboard. And this is the world view, like how many deaths were throughout the history and how many active patients are there, right? So this is about HIV, a dashboard which he has created about HIV, right? Simple one, but very useful one. And like this, there are a lot of dashboard, right? So this SMC comes running, you can see. So how was the sales happen in Sri Lanka throughout the regions, right? So you can see, right? These are some of the dashboard of our students has developed. There are hundreds of dashboards. These are some samples, right? So this kind of dashboard you will be able to create at the end of the session. Most of the students has no idea what is Power BI when they begin, and they was able to create a world-class dashboard at the end of the session. My target is to make you master of Power BI at the end of the session, right? And also, once you finish the session, it's not the end of the journey, right? You can have the contact from us. You can, if you want any consultation for your personal or academic or whatever the project you do, you can just give us a call and book some time, and you can get a free consultation as well. Right? Cool. That's about the overview of the what we are going to do. Now we are going to discuss about the in detail content, right? Before I go to the in detail content, I would like to take a pause, and if there's anyone who has to who need to raise a question, just feel free to raise it, right? Is there anyone who need to raise any question? No? Okay, perfect. So our training program is basically divided into 9 segments, right? We have basically divided into 5 segments, right? So today we are doing the introduction session. So we are going to discuss about the Power BI concept and objective, interface, installation, those kind of stuffs, how to install Power BI and how to use the tool a little bit, right? And after that, so basically what we're going to discuss today is these things, as I mentioned, the purpose of this course, introduction, what is meaning by business analytics, and what are the Power BI concepts, and what are the building blocks of Power BI, and Power BI installation and user interface will be discussed on today's session. So I highly request you, like, even though if you're planning not to join in the previous session, so you stay in this session because you'll be able to learn about more about what is this context, what is this urge for business analytics in the world, right? So I'll be teaching you this on today. So please stay until the end of the session, until we finish the session today, right? So that's on today, right? And after that, we'll be doing next 2 days, right? Second day and third day, we'll be doing uh, one of the most important part of Power BI, which is called Power Query, right? This Power Query, also known as Power BI ETL engine. ETL stand for extracting, transforming, and loading data, right? So what does Power Query do? Right, I told you it's called ETL engine. So Power Query, what does Power Query, this tool inside of Power BI do is, it is extracting the data from multiple sources. What is meant by extracting? Extracting means, so when you're creating a report, don't hope that you will always get Excel files. Right? You have to work with multiple data sources. Maybe you need to connect to a SQL database. Maybe we need to connect to a Snowflake. We need to connect to a Databricks. Maybe you have to direct connect to a SAP source. Right? You have to connect to multiple data sources when you are working with Power BI reports. Right? So the first thing is you should know how to put this connection properly. Data extraction part. That's called E part, extraction. The next thing was called transform. What is meant by transform? Transform means, again, don't expect any data set to be 100% clean. 99% of the time, data you will be receiving from your, another department or like another company, like from a client, right? 99% of the time, they are not analytical friendly. They are not analytical friendly. You have to change those data. You have to clean those data, or else you can say you have to transform those data into a good data. Before you do any analysis, you have to transform data into a good data. Right? If you feed bad data to analysis, you will get bad result. Therefore, you need good data to get a good analytics. Right? So, to second part of ETL is transform, or else you can say the data cleaning. The last part is called data loading. How you push your data model. You'll be learning that on the data L part, right? So ETL, data extraction, data transformation, and data loading, right? So in this ETL engine or in the Power Query, you'll be learning these things, right? What are the 10 rules for good data? What does it mean? So before you turn a bad data into a good data, you should know what is the difference between bad data and good data, right? Or else you can't just say like, I want to remove this column, I need to remove this, I need to do a append of this data, I need to do a data merge, I need to data joins. Before you do anything else, you should learn the good and bad of data. You'll be learning that. And you'll be learning about what is this Power Query software and what is the overview of that one? What are the data sources that you can connect to in Power BI? How you extract the data? How you extract multiple sources, right? How you import the data and how you transform a data. So in this transformation of data will be done through case studies, right? You'll be learning multiple type of transformation method. through this one, right? And also you'll be learning about how to load that data, and also this Power Query tool is run on a language called data mashup language, or else simply we say M language. Right? You'll be learning how this M code works and what is the logic behind it, and how to use AI to leverage this M code. And we'll be learning those things as well. Right? So this will be a 2-day session. Second day and third day you'll be learning that one. And after that, we have 1 day to learn Vertipack engine. Okay, what is Vertipack engine? Vertipack engine means when you are working with Power BI reports, don't expect to have only one table in your analysis. You have to connect multiple tables, and you have to make a connection between those multiple tables. For an example, let's say you have to create a sales analytics. To create the sales analytics, you need to see, is there a pattern between experience of the salesperson and the profit margin? And you have to identify the connection between these two. So to get the sales data, you can simply get from like a Salesforce or whatever the tool that we use, you can get that. To get the experience of the employees, you have to reach to HR, right? From your HRIS, you have to get the starting date of that employee, right? So you have to get those things, right? That means you have to connect HR data and sales data together. How you connect these two tables together, right? So how you create multiple tables together, right? That is called data modeling. Right? That's called data modeling. So in this Vertipack engine tool, you'll be learning what is the meaning of data modeling, and what is the advantage of creating a data model instead of a one big table, right? And what are the type of relationship? There are multiple type of relationship: one-to-one relationship, one-to-many relationship, many-to-one relationship, many-to-many relationship. What are the advantages of this relationship, and what are the disadvantages of those relationship? Right? And also at the end of the relations, you have to create something called schema. Right? In Power BI, we are recommending only two type of schemas, which is called star schema and snowflake schema. You'll be learning what are these data schemas, as well as we'll explore some more schemas that is not recommended in Power BI, but you'll learn those things as well. Right? There are things called galaxy schema. Right? What is meaning by galaxy schema? Those things will be learned in this Vertipack engine story. Right? So that's which day? Fourth day. And fifth and sixth day, you'll be learning the most difficult part in Power BI. The most difficult part in Power BI, which is called data analysis expression. So most of the new students think DAX is the most of Power BI, like the nightmare of Power BI, right? But it's not the case, right? If you understand it properly, DAX is one of the most easiest thing to do, right? So to explain DAX, I'm going to tell you a story, right? I'm going to take you to a government office, right? This district secretarial office up here, කච්චේරිය කියලා කියන්නේ සිංහලෙන්. Right? I'm taking you to this divisional or district secretarial office. Right? These places, there's this lady or gent called Pradeshiya Lekam. Right? It's Pradeshiya Sabha, those people are there, right? And there's a Pradeshiya Sabha, right? There's district secretarial office. I'll say Pradeshiya Sabha, it will be easy for you, right? There's a Pradeshiya Sabha. In this Pradeshiya Sabha, there's a district secretarial, right? This lady, she's the district secretarial. And there's a peon for her called Saman, right? And all the record of this Rajya Sabha is stored in a storeroom. That's what you see in the top, right? So one day, this lady ring the bell and Saman came. And lady says this to the Saman, right? So I'm gonna quote it. Saman, I want you to go to the storeroom and I want you to open number 5 cabinet. Number 5 cabinet. Inside of number 5 cabinet, there must be a red color drawer. Open it. Open the red color drawer. Inside of the red color drawer, there are multiple box files. I want you to get the box file which has our census data, population data. Right? Get that file, and you have to get 2025 census data paper records and 2024 census data. And I want you to check how many male population between age 18 to 25 in 2024 and 2025. and tell me the growth of male population from age 18 to 25 compared to 2024 in 2025. So what will someone do? Someone will walk to the storeroom. He will open the number 5 cabinet. He will open the red color drawer and he will flip through all the files and pick the file with the census data or population data. And he will flip through all the pages and he'll pick 2024 page and 2025 page. And he'll take a calculator and he'll count how many male population in 2024. Let's say there are 1,000 males are there age 18 to 25 in 2024. And he calculate in 2025 as let's say it's 1,080. Right? So what's the difference? Difference is 80. So if you divide the difference between previous year's data, you can get year-over-year growth. Right? What's the number? 80 divided by 1,000, 8%. So he goes and says back to the this is secretarial, right? He say it's 8%. Right? So I want you to remember the story. Right? So in this story, you are this lady, or you can say you are the physics secretarial lady. And the storeroom is your data model. Remember, you are creating a data model here. This data model is your storeroom, right? And someone is Dex. The language called Dex is someone. Someone will do it to you, right? So what happens is, if you want to do analysis, you are saying that go to this table, fill out these things, go to this column, do this calculation, and give me the result. It will do by this Dex calculation. Right? This text language will do it for you. It will go to the table, it will do the calculation in the RAM, and it will give you the result. So that's basically DAX, what DAX do. Go to a data set, retrieve the data, read the data, analyze the data, and give you the result. Right? So treat it like this, then it will be easy for you to understand the DAX concept. So what is DAX? As I mentioned, DAX is also known as data analysis expression. In short term, we are calling it DAX, right? So it's a functional language. So functional language means it's not a programming language, it's a functional language, right? So it's to have predefined functions, right? In Excel, we have functions like VLOOKUP, we have rank functions, right? So in order that has predefined functions, we are using that to create the calculation. And using DAX, you can do multiple things. You can create new columns, new measures. There's something, don't worry about this word. And we can create new tables. You'll be learning all those things. And what are the differences between implicit measures and explicit measures, right? Implicit means system generated measures and explicit means manual measures. We'll be learning the difference between these two, right? And also DAX can be divided into multiple categories called text functions, logical functions, time and date functions, filter functions, mathematical and statistical functions, and also time intelligence functions. We'll be learning all these things in the coming sessions, as well as I'm going to guarantee you, I'm going to teach you how to write a proper AI prompt, whether it's ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, or whatever AI you use, Copilot, whatever AI tool you use. I'm going to teach you how to write the prompt to write any complicated DAX code. Right? I repeat it. I'll make sure that I'm going to teach you how to write the prompt in AI tool to get whatever the DAX code you like without any modification. You just need to copy and paste it, and it will work. Right? You're going to learn how you use that, right? So coming lectures, we'll be learning how you can use AI tool to write whatever DAX code you want, right? In earlier days, I remember like when I was learning Power BI, back like 10 years ago, if I want to create a complicated DAX code, there are some days that I have to stay overnight to write one DAX code sometimes. If it is a complex DAX code, right? I have to stay overnight to write a DAX code. But now you can get that in seconds. Right? So you'll be learning how to do that. And while you are doing this one, so if you have any question, you can always ask from me, right? And the next thing is visualization layer. So seventh and eighth day, so we'll be learning about the visualization layer. So how to create visuals to Power BI, and how you can create visuals to Power BI. You'll be learning about how to create a report, how to create a visual interaction, how to put a filter, how to use hierarchies, drill down, right? Visualization, filtering, how to put a perfect visual for perfect data. Like if it is a categorical data, what visually you should use, what is for trend data, what visually you should use for KPI data, what visually you should use for tabular data, what visually you should use for geographical data, how to use tooltip, how to use bookmarks, how to use selection panes, right? And how to use custom visuals. All of these things will be learned in the coming lectures, right? And the last day, you'll be learning about how to use Power BI service and how to deploy and maintain your Power dashboards, right? How you can use Power BI service to deploy your dashboard and how to use them. So these are the things that you're going to learn on the last day, right? How you share your dashboard, how to set up a gateway, how you can create subfolders in Power BI service, right? And also you'll be learning how to put rollover security deployment pipeline, right? All the things will be learned in this last day session, right? So basically, these are the things that we're going to do in the coming sessions, right? So does anyone has any question about what we are going to do? Right. So in addition to that one, so there are some new trends comes in Power BI. So there might be some little additions. There won't be anything removed. There might be some little additions. Uh, one thing is like recently Power BI has announced something called user-defined functions. So that also will be get added. It's not included in the content as of now. I'm still making the content for that one. So once you reach to the text layer learning, so you'll be learning that one as well, right? There are things that you will be learning which is not available in here as well, right? Cool. Now we're gonna go officially for our today's session. So today we're gonna learn about what is business intelligence, what is Power BI, what is Power Ecosystem, what is Power Query, Power Pivot, Power Visual, and also, if time permits, let's do a hands-on as well, right? Okay. Before we learn this buzzword BI, right? This word business analytics, right? We should know what is decision making. So what is decision making and so as of your knowledge, right? So simply decision making means the process of making a choice. You might have multiple choice or one choice, you know. The process of making a choice is known as decision making, right? In the life, we are taking multiple personal decision each and every day. Like what food we should eat, what clothes we should wear to our work today. So if you want to go on a trip, where should you go? A Kandy, Anuradhapura, Kataragama, right? Wherever you want to go, right? So you take these decisions. Even companies does these decisions, right? They might want to open a new branch somewhere. They might need to improve one product. Right? They want to see what are the most sell products, right? What are the regions with high sales, right? Those kind of decisions that they might need to take. They have questions, they need to take decisions of those questions, right? So traditional method of making a decision right, was gut feeling. That I'll tell you one story of my life, right? So when I started my career back in 2011, right, I joined a apparel company as a management trainee. So it's also a small apparel company in Matale, right? Very good company, even though small, nice people. I still love to go that place, right? Altogether, the entire staff, including workers, was less than 400 people were there, right? So in this company, they produce t-shirts. They produce Adidas and Polo. Yeah, Polo t-shirt they have produced. Right? Adidas and Polo. These are the t-shirt they have produced. So what happened is when an order come, the factory manager uh, he gather all of us to a one room. So since I was a management trainee, I was lucky enough to go to those meeting, and they take a meeting called pre-production meeting. Right? In this pre-production meeting, what happened is, in this company, there's a very experienced manager. He was around like 70 years old when I was joining, right? In that time, right? So he has been working in apparel industry for multiple years, right? He's working in the t-shirt business for multiple years. He know end to end about t-shirts, right? So when a t-shirt comes, let's say there's a polo t-shirt comes with stripes, right? So he take the t-shirt to his hand, sample t-shirt. Usually in apparel, what happen is they send a sample. Is they send all the blocks and cuttings and cutting blocks, CAD drawings, all those things, fabrics. Sometimes fabrics even they have sent. And now we have to do is we have to replicate that. That's what they expect us to do, right? So when they get that sample T-shirt, they just raise it up. That manager that I told you, he just raise that T-shirt up, and he take the decisions, right? He say this T-shirt has to be so in production number line number 1, and for this setting the machine for the production, we have to use Kamal as the mechanic. The Sumana has to be the supervisor. The Sujit has to go as the QC, right? Quality checker. QC means quality checker, right? So all the decisions will be taken by that manager. Even the person who are going to sew that T-shirt, right? If it is a stripe machine T-shirt, he say there are XYZ employees. They are the best for this T-shirt sewing. Use them, right? Actually, like 99% of the time, the things he has said is correct, not wrong. Actually, it's 99% of the time it's correct. But the thing is, as a company, that company highly depend on one person experience and gut feeling, right? So that's okay for a company like 400 employees. What about a company like MS Holding, let's say, like 100,000 people are working? Can one person look after all these 100,000 people? Impossible, right? So we have to go to a much more detailed analytics, because companies has data. They have old data, they have historical data, they have current data, and they have forecast data for the future, right? They have data, right? Based on the data, they can make a decision, right? Let's say that company that I talked you about, if it has like 10 years of data in a database, even on Excel file, they can see, like, let's say mechanics, right? They can take the downtime of the mechanics. Like, let's say there are 10 mechanics. They can say, okay, when a polo T-shirt has been implemented on a production line, these mechanics has lowest downtime. Downtime means they have set up the machine properly. Downtime means if a machine breaks, that's called downtime in apparel industry, right? So they can pick the least one. And it comes to supervisor, he can take supervisor who has achieved the most efficiency for the striped T-shirts, polo T-shirt. If you have the record of people, you can get it. And if the quality, even the who has achieved the most quality, right? Simply you can get it. So that's what happens when you're working with a lot of data. You cannot rely on gut feeling. You need data back knowledge, right? So do we have data in the world now? Yes, obvious, right? So in here you will see this is an image of Facebook in 2020. What happened in Facebook in a minute? In a minute, just 1 minute, right? You can see in a minute, 242,000, more than 442,000 photos are being uploaded. More than 500 accounts are being added. Content creators 11,700 amount of money. Around 3.3 million items are being shared. More than 13,000 new app installation happen in a minute. 100,000 friend requests, 150,000 message requests. Many things happen in Facebook in a minute. That's just Facebook. When you come to other tools, how many tools are there in the world? Right? We have Netflix, we have YouTube, we have these teams that we are just discussing right now. We have TikTok, Venmo, right? Instagram, Amazon. How many things are happening in the world in a minute? Right? This is just the surface internet. So if you take your company data, how many things are happening in your ERP system in a minute? Right? And if you take, like, for an example, like CCTV cameras, right? How much of data is being streamed? How much data is being recorded in your phone, right? Messages, SMS, all those things. They are data. Basically, they are data, right? In a minute, more enormous amount of data is generated in a minute in this world right now. How much was it generated? So you can see the growth of the data. So this was again some historical data, right? The data numbers now is more than this, right? So you can see in 2010, if you collect all the data in the world into one place, I'm talking about CDs, hard drives, servers, pen drives, right? Everything. If you collect all the things into one place and if you measure it, it would be around 2 zettabyte in 2010, right? In 2025, it has become 181. Within 15 years, 90 times bigger, 90 times more, right? That you can see the data has grown in exponential rate, right? If you know about exponential means at the beginning it shows like small growth, but keep on growing. It's become very big. Right? So there's two types of growth that we can do in a Cartesian plane. It's called linear growth and exponential growth. Right? So this is an exponential growth. Right? So what is the reason for this exponential growth? You can see this in two images. Right? Image number one, on the left side, you can see that's an hard drive which is shipped by IBM in 1956. Right? On the right side, there's SD card which is on the fingertip of a person. Looking at this image, you can realize four things. Right? Number one, you can obviously see the physical size of the device has been reduced throughout the time. Physical size, right? Imagine if you have the technology of 1956 today, so 1 terabyte hard disk might be bigger than the World Trade Center, obviously. If you have that technology yet, you can see it's bigger than a person, right? 5 MB. That's one thing. Number two is the storage capacity has increased throughout the time. Right? You can see storage capacity has grown throughout the time. Number three is price of the device. So in 1956, 5 MB hard drives worth millions of dollars. Now, if you go to PETA, you can get the SD card for less than 500 rupees, right? Simply, right? That's the importance of the price, right? The fourth thing is the technology. Technology has been improved as well as it's become simplified. It's improved as well as become simplified. Simplified means in 1956, if you want to create this massive hard drive, so you will have to basically get a bunch of engineers, right? Bunch of analysts, right? And project managers. This is a team effort in 1956 to create this hard drive. But nowadays, so if you just Google something, just check on the YouTube how these chips are being manufactured. They just put raw materials and they just print it. If it's nothing, you need to just print the chips. Right? Like you print a paper, you just print it. That's what happened here. So that's how the data has been grown throughout the time. Right? Price reduced, capacity increased, size reduced, and the technology has been improved and become easier. These are the reason why data has grown this much bigger throughout the time. So I remember like back in 2007, right? So I had a 128 megabyte pen drive, and that time, uh, actually that was given to by my father for my O-level exam. I did good in O-level, so in 2006 end of something, I remember he has purchased it to me. This 128 pen drive at that time worth 5,000 rupees. 5,000 is a big amount in 2006, right? So you can imagine, right, how the price has been reduced and the capacity has been increased. Cool. If you put everything to short, there's a saying in this world, data is the new oil. What is the reason for that one? Right? The reason is if you take 20 companies, the first 20 companies who has the most revenue in this world, at least 12, 13 of them are data related companies. Microsoft, OpenAI, Nvidia, Apple. Apple, you might say it's a manufacturing company. No, but Apple's most of the revenue come from Apple services. Apple, right? Those companies, right? Most of these companies are data related companies now, right? If you have the data, a Facebook, you control the world now, right? So that's how important the data is now, right? You might not believe that in last 10 minutes, we have generated more data than prehistoric time until 2003, right? From the time that people used to draw, cave paintings, the pyramid letters, right? And the, what do you call this, Puskolaboth. And up to like 2002, 2003, if you can remember, we played IGA those times, right? IGI, Vice City, those games comes from 2002, right? The data that generated on last 10 minutes is more than the entire data that was up until 2003. That's how big the data growth is, right? Imagine what happened in like next 20 years. So now we're going to talk about what is business intelligence. We talk about data and importance of data, why we need to learn data analytics, right? So we are going to learn about what is business intelligence now. So I told you in my previous example, okay, just give me 1 minute, please. Right. Sorry about that. So in the previous example, I told you that the BI, right? So companies has a lot of data. They have historical data. They have data that is being streamed by, they have data which is being streamed by their live systems. Like they have a lot of data, historical or current data, right? So when you need to take a decision for the company or the business, right, you can use those historical and current data. Right? First, you have to get the data. You have to analyze those data. You have to visualize those data. And using those visuals, if you're taking a business decision, that's basically the business intelligence. So what's in simple context, you can say, in company, you will have multiple data. You will have Excel files. You have a system like SQL, right? And you have other sources like SAP or whatever, right? I just put over here, right? Right. So first thing is you have to collect those data. I told you about the ETL, right? You have to collect all those data and you have to transform. Remember, I told you you have to clean the data before you do an analysis. You have to clean your data properly. After you clean your data, someone comes to help us. Who is someone? Text language come to help us in Power BI. But if it is another tool, like if it says in SQL environment, you can use SQL queries for this one, right? So you have to use a data analysis method, right? So you have to analyze your data in a proper way, right? Once you analyze your data, you have to visualize those data. If there's a saying called one picture worth 1,000 words, right? Our human brain has a capacity to understand images more than text or numbers, right? You have to visualize your data in a bar chart, pie chart, whatever you like. You can visualize your data. After that, you can get those, you can use those visuals to take your decisions, right? Simple context, business intelligence is a form of act of transforming your raw and operational data into useful information for business decision making. Right? Converting your raw data into information for business decision making. That's basically called business intelligence. Sorry. So why you need a business intelligence system? Number one, if you have a business intelligence system, you can answer any questions quickly. Right? And also it will enable real-time analysis with quick navigation. What does this mean? Real-time analysis with quick navigation. Right? So in history, like in earlier time, in previous companies, if someone want to take a decision, the first thing is, if you can remember, like in old companies, there was a position called recorders. What does this recorders do is they collect all the data into one place and do Excel file or PowerPoint presentation and send it. Usually the lead time of this one is like sometimes 1 day, 2 day. There might be a long time delay for you to see the real data. But if you have a good business intelligence system, you can real time see what is happening in your business. Real time, right? What will happen in your business, right? That's the benefit of having a business intelligence system. And also it will help you, if you're into sales business, it will help you to do your cross-selling and upselling, right? So cross-selling means, so basically, if you go to a Pizza Hut, right, the cashiers, most of the time, if you're ordering a pizza, they might ask you, do you need a garlic bread with it? Do you need a Coke with it? Right? What they are doing? They are doing cross-selling. It's obvious in Pizza Hut, they are the options, but in a business, you can do good cross-sellings, right? You can see like if someone is going to buy a bread in the supermarket, you can pay some butter or maybe on jam or some spread near the breads, like that. That's called cross-selling, right? And also you can upsell your products. Upselling means selling the same product with a higher value. Like if you go to a, let's say you are going to eat a kottu today, and if you go to the kottu mudalali and he says that do you need a cheese kottu, what is he doing? He's trying to upsell it. He's selling you the kottu, but with a better value. Let's say cheese kottu with roast chicken. Same product with a better value. If you have a good BI system, you can identify those upselling opportunities. There are some potential clients who need to see a premium product, same product in a premium value, right? So the company that I'm working with these days, right? So we are working with the premium bicycle brand in UK. Right? It's not for everyone. The bicycle is not. It's very expensive. Even this bicycle is cost more than a car, right? Even in that bicycle, there are some premium products, the gold-plated one, right? And some electric enhanced one. And there are some products. Not every customer can purchase it. Very expensive. But there are some customers who are willing to purchase those. You can identify those customers if you have a good BI system. Sorry. And also, if you have a good BI system, you can identify the bottlenecks in your business. What is mean by bottlenecks? Bottlenecks means where your business is slow down. So if you are a bank, if you are delivering uh, 10 loan application per day, how can you make it 15? Where you are stuck in? So is that the loan authorization officer or the manager, right? Or the security? Where's this slowness happen? Right? You can identify, right? Either you can hire a new one to improve your process, or you can shuffle your jobs, rotations or something like that. You can improve your bottlenecks in the business, right? Bottleneck. That's called bottleneck. Bottleneck means you can see in the bottle, we have something called neck, right? So if you fill a bottle and if you like turn it upside down, the neck of the bottle decide how much water flow from the bottle, right? So that's like same like that in a business. There are bottlenecks. The bottleneck decide how fast the business should move. You can reduce those bottlenecks. And if you have a good BI system, you know your business better and it will obviously improve your decision making. So that is the benefit of having a good BI system, right? Okay. Next, we're going to learn about Power BI. So before we go to Power BI, we're going to learn about what are the type of analytics. There are different types of analytics, right? So you can see this is a Cartesian plane. So if you go this way, the y-axis, the value increases. If you go this way, the difficulty increases, right? So you can see the first type of analytics is called descriptive analytics. Unfortunately, especially in Sri Lanka, 99% of the companies doing this analytics only, descriptive analytics. Descriptive analytics means when something happens at the end of the day, you are doing the analytics. For an example, I'm taking you through example on this one. So imagine there's a supermarket, Keels. Let's say Kottawa Keels. Okay, Kottawa Keels. Kottawa Keels open at 8 a.m. in the morning and off close at 10 p.m. in the night. So 10 p.m. their system get freeze. They can't enter anything. And 10:05, uh, the manager of the Kotta Keels can run the report in the system and get how much sales has happened on that particular day, how many customers has come, how much stock that I have in my inventory. Right? The analysis that you do after end of something happened, maybe the end of the day, maybe the end of the project, right? After something happened, if you do analytics, this kind of analytics are known as descriptive analytics. So think about your company, right? Most of the time, I'm pretty sure 99% of the time, your companies might be doing only descriptive analytics. But it has a less value for the company as well as its difficulty is very low, but it has comparatively less value. It has a value, I'm not saying nothing. It has a value, but comparatively lesser value. Right? So we can raise the bar a little bit. So next level of analytics was known as diagnostic analytics. This is also known as post-mortem analytics, also called root cause analysis. Something went wrong in the business. Imagine the supermarket one day, let's say the supermarket, this Kottagil supermarket, they have a target every day they have to sell at least 10 million rupees worth of items, right? 10 million rupees worth of item they have to sell. So one day they have sell only 90 million. What was the reason? They are doing analysis and see what happened, and they realize the reason for the less sales on that particular day is they have not received enough vegetable on that day, right? So most of the time in supermarket there are set of client who goes to supermarket, including me, right? Who goes to supermarket to buy vegetables but end up buying a lot of things else. Let's say you are driving to home by your work and your wife just texts you, bring some potatoes or bring some tomatoes. Tomato is finished, bring some 500 or 1 kg of tomato when you're coming back. And you pull over near a Keel supermarket and you go to the Keels and you buy tomatoes. And is that the only thing you buy? Most probably no, right? You'll end up buying a lot of things. Right? Maybe a milk powder, maybe something else, right? Maybe something to eat. You get a lot of things, right? But the same customer, their main intention is buying tomatoes on that day, right? Imagine this customer go to the supermarket and the moment he enters, he say no vegetable left. His main intention is to buy vegetable, tomatoes at that time. So he'll just turn back and go to some other supermarket, right? So you see, it's not only the vegetable sales that going to make an impact. There's a knock-on impact also happen. He will not buy other products as well, right? So these kind of analytics are known as diagnostic analytics, right? You analyze the data and see the patterns, and you realize that if you have less vegetables, it's not only the vegetable sales that got impact, it's also other products that the customer is going to buy, right? That's called diagnostic analytics. It will help you to make sure that same problem will not happen again in the future, right? That's called diagnostic analytics. And the third level of analytics is known as predictive analytics. We are predicting something before something happens. I'm going to take the same example. So this is Kottawa Keels. It's open at 8 a.m. in the morning. Around 7 a.m. in the morning, these trucks with vegetables, fish, and these items, they come to the supermarket, right? If you see in the early morning, you might have seen a lot of lorries are in the supermarket back end, right? So what they do is they are loading those items to the supermarket, right? So it's just 7 a.m. in the morning, and they are doing the GRing. GRing means good receive notes. When they get something, they should enter into the system. So imagine when they are entering into the system triggers come. There's a trigger in the system, alert in the system. It says that today you have received only 500 kilograms of vegetables. You should receive 1,000. You have received only 500 kgs of vegetables. Therefore, today you will not be able to achieve your sales target. Before even opening the gates, before even opening the door of the supermarket, the system says you are not going to achieve your target today. So that kind of analytics is known as predictive analysis. It will say something before it happened, right? That level of analytics are known as predictive analytics. The last level of analytics, these are the most valuable analytics for a company, known as prescriptive analytics. Usually, who's giving a prescription to us? A doctor, right? Doctor give us a prescription, then we can, if you get sick, right? So if you have fever, they give some medicine. So when you take the medicine, it will go away. So same thing, prescriptive is what happen is they will predict what's going to happen in the future and how you can overcome it. Same example, let's say 7 a.m. in the morning, it triggers the system and says, today you're gonna not achieve sales. And also it will give you an option for you. So this happened in Kotta, right? It will show you that in Pannipiti Keels, there are 500 kg vegetable extra. Send a lorry to Pannipiti Keels and get it to a Kotta. Then you will be able to achieve sales in both supermarket. Something like that, right? So that's level of analytics are known as prescriptive analytics. So we should always try to raise the bar. When you are doing any analysis, we should always try to raise the bar. Right? Any questions so far? I feel like I'm talking to myself only. Any question? Ajit, Buddhi, Chandrasekhara, Shiv? All good?
All good, sir. All good.
Awesome.
Thank you.
If you have anything, you can always ask me, okay? Right. Okay, if you want to take a 2-3 minutes break, if you want to go to like take a, get some water or something like that, I'll give you like 2 minutes break. You can just take a 2 minutes break and come back in 2 minutes. I'll just I'll quickly run a timer here, right? Usually we are giving like 10 minutes break in the session, but today since we have only 2 hours, most probably it's not going to be 2 hours. We'll be able to finish it by 1.5 hours, something like that. So just take a quick break and come back, guys. Okay, guys, let's start the session again. So now we are going to officially go to Power BI, right? Before I go to Power BI, I want to show you how to install Power BI. There might be someone who has not installed Power BI yet, right? So if there's anyone who is using Office laptops, right? So you might need to reach to your IT because sometimes there might be some restriction for installation, if you are using a company laptop. And also, if you are using a company laptop which has already Power BI installed, so make sure you update it because I'm going to teach you the latest version of Power BI, not the old version. So you should have the latest version ready with you. So when you're coming on the next week, make sure you do this one, right? So those who are using personal laptops, they can do like this. There are two methods to install Power BI. The method number one is, this is the most recommended method. You can go to the store. You can go to Microsoft Store, right? Just click on the start button and just type store. It will open the Microsoft Store, this icon. Just go to Microsoft Store. It will open like this. In Microsoft Store, I want you to search Power BI. Like this. you can see it has a software called Power BI Desktop, right? So what I have right now is called Open, but if you haven't installed it, it will show you as Get. Just click on Get and it will download and install to your computer. So the beauty of installing through Microsoft Store is this Power BI software. So if you just go to YouTube, you just go to YouTube and search Power BI, right? And you'll see this Power BI software. This is the Microsoft official Power BI page, YouTube channel, sorry. You can see Power BI updates in monthly basis. See, there's September, there's update, August, there's update, July, there's update, June, there's update. So usually Power BI update in like a monthly basis. Sometimes there are no, but most of the time, yes, it updates on regular basis. So if you are using Microsoft Store to install the Power BI, so what happens is if you are connected to Wi-Fi and if you are installed to Microsoft Store, just like the Google Play or App Store, if you connect to Wi-Fi, that automatically updates software in phone, right? Similar way, it will update your Microsoft Power BI software. If there's update comes, it will automatically happens in the backend. You don't need to worry about anything. It will do it for you. So this is the recommended method. Go to Microsoft Store and install Power BI from there. Right? If you have a issue with going to the Microsoft Store, as I mentioned, sometimes in some companies they have a restriction to go to Microsoft Store as well, because in Microsoft Store you can watch movies and you can play games. Yeah, therefore some companies restrict it, right? So therefore, what you have to do is you have to type in Google called Power BI download. Just type Power BI download and click on the first link. Sorry. And here you see a blue color button called Download PBI Desktop. Just click on this. Click on this icon. Oh, sorry, not here. If you click on that, it will open the store again. Scroll down a little bit. And here, if you see, there's something called Power BI Desktop. So Power BI Desktop. In here, click on Advanced Download option. Don't click on Download. It will open again this Microsoft Store. Click on Advanced Download option. And it will take you to this page. From here, you can click on Download button. And it will download like this. It will download the software for you, right? So, and you have to install this. A same simple installation wizard is there. You can simply do that. Right? So when you're coming on the next week, make sure you install Power BI Desktop, because you're going to practically work on everything, right? So you're going to need it. Cool. So let's discuss the other things. So what is Power BI? Before 2010, when I was learning, 2011-10, when I was learning, at that time, the companies already had some BI tools, right? Most of these BI tools are built on Visual Basic, maybe on .NET, like Java, using some kind of a programming language. Companies had BI tools, but there was a catch. The catch is, let's say there's a HR manager. He want to see attrition rate, or let's say he want to see performance of their employees, right? So if that in that time, if they want to do it, what they have to do is they have to either hire a software engineer, or they have to get the consultation from a software engineering firm, and they have to explain to them, I'm HR manager, I want to see this KPI. This is how this KPI is being plotted. This is where the data is, right? And you have to do the visualization. So that's what happened in the history, right? So when you're doing it like that, there are a few things to be considered. One thing is it's very expensive, because you have to hire a software engineer, or you have to get the consultation from software engineering firm. It's very expensive, number one. Number two is it will take a lot of time, because as a HR manager, you have to explain it to software engineer. Because software engineer know nothing about HR. You have to explain this context, HR context. It will take a long time, right? And there'll be back and forth meetings, like a long time will take to develop the solution. Number three is, even though it's implemented, maybe it's not what the HR manager has it in his mind. It wasn't the same thing HR manager has has in his mind, right? So there are always some drawbacks on that method. So Microsoft saw a big potential, a market in this area. So they have think, why don't we build a product even a non-IT person can use to develop a dashboard? And that product is Microsoft Power BI. The product is Microsoft Power BI, right? So Microsoft Power BI comes with a package actually. It's one of the tool in Microsoft Power Platform. So they have done some more tools as well. There's a tool called Power Apps, right? Where you can develop apps without coding. There's another one called Power Pages. You can create a website without coding. There's another one called Power Automate. You can create automation without any coding, right? So Power BI comes as a package of Power Platform, right? But irony is Power BI is the most popular tool out of them, right? So Power BI become very famous because it's easy to use. Anyone who has used Microsoft tools, Excel, PowerPoint, it's very easy to adapt. And also, it doesn't require any software engineering knowledge, right? And also, it will able to convert your data into a stunning visual, and also that visuals can be seen in any device, whether it's a laptop, desktop, a mobile, a tablet, whatever, you'll be able to see the data. And this dashboard data will be published, or this dashboard will be published in a cloud. From anywhere in the world, you can log into that one. Also there's another method that you can store in something called Microsoft. Sorry, there's another method called on-premises as well. On-premises means you can save it in a server, but most popular method is 99% of the companies use, cloud method. And also this dashboard, a collaborative dashboard. It's not like static dashboard like PowerPoint. You can slice dice data. You can play with your data, right? And you can collaboratively share something. That ability was there in Power BI. As well as Power BI comes with inbuilt data governance and security. What is meant by inbuilt data governance and security? Dashboards are very sensitive data set of data in a company. Right? So if you can't ensure the security of your data, if there's a data breach, it's very sensitive, right? So you don't need to worry about anything when you're using Power BI. There's nothing need to be worried. Unlike the traditional that BI tools that have used in using Visual Basic or .NET, this has high level of security for your data. So therefore, Power BI become the most popular BI tool in the world, right? So this is called a magic quadrant analytics, right? You can see this is actually a Cartesian plane again. This is Y and this is X, right? So if you go this way, it's called ability to execute, how easy it is to work with. On the right side, if you go to the right side, it's called completeness of vision. That means how visionary the company is. So based on this vision and the ability to execute, the Gartner, this is a research firm, they have divided all the BI tools in the 4 categories. Quadrants, it's called, right? So the lowest one is called niche players. Very difficult to work with, as well as it doesn't have a good vision as a company as well. They are called niche players. And there are some tools called visionaries. Visionaries means the tool is a bit harder to master, but there are some good tools like SAP. They have a tool. In Oracle, they have a tool. Very good tools, but very hard to master as well as very expensive. And there are some other tools in the world called challengers. Very easy to work with. And if you go to Google Looker, within 2 hours you can learn Google Looker. Very easy to work with. But when it comes to complex analysis, it's not enough. They are called challengers. If they can improve their vision, they will be a next leader. So there are 3 leaders in the market as of now: Click, Tableau, and Microsoft Power BI. You can see out of them, Microsoft is the lead. Most easiest to work with, and most company with the most vision. So Power BI is the lead of BI world as of now. Right. So what is Power BI ecosystem? Now we are going to learn about Power BI ecosystem. What is Power BI ecosystem? Right. You have to be very attentive on this part. So this is very critical. Right. So in the Power BI world, this is you. This person is you. It's called the data modeler, or you can say the report designer. So you have your laptop. This is your laptop. You install a software called Microsoft Power BI desktop to your laptop. So you can see there's a gray color box around this. So whatever happens inside of this gray color box happens inside your laptop. Whatever happens inside this gray color box happen inside of your laptop, inside the software called Power BI Desktop. Right? So Power BI Desktop can be divided into three parts. The first one is called ETL engine. This is called the Power Query. Right? So ETL engine, what it does do is it get the data from multiple sources, whether it could be a local file like Excel file, or it could be come from a server. It could be come from a online source like Azure, or from an API, or maybe directly come from an app, right? So the first thing that happen is it collect all the data, Power Query. In the Power Query, second part what happen is it is cleaning all the data. I told you, right? ETL, extract, transform, load. Second thing it does is it clean the data or transform the data. Once it transforms the data and the data is already good enough, they load the data to the Vertipack engine. Right? They're loading the data to the Vertipack engine. So they are loading the data from here to here. So inside of this second layer, the Vertipack engine, what happened is there are two things happen. One thing is they have to do a data model, right? If you have multiple tables like this, you have to connect all these tables and create a model, right? You have to connect this table. There are methods that you connect, right? We learn about this bidirectional method, like, there are something called, uh, there are some hidden connection methods, like you'll be learning those things. We have to create a model. Once you create a model, DAX will come to play, our PL. Right? DAX will do the data analysis in the second layer. Right? DAX will come to play in the second layer. Right? And after that, it will go to the visualization layer. I'm pretty sure you will not believe me now, but you will believe at the end of the session. In Power BI development, 80% of your effort, 80% of your effort goes to these two. 80% of your effort of Power BI development goes to these two. Rest of all the things, all the things will go only 20%. That's how I have set up my sessions as well, right? I focus on the fundamentals first. And if you know the fundamental, if you know how to clean the data properly, if you know how to understand your data, if you know how to write a perfect model, how to create a perfect model, if you know how to create a clean DAX code, effective DAX code, then the rest of the things are just dragging and dropping, right? Remember, this is where the value comes from you. It's 80% of thing. It's not the pie chart or the bar chart or the line chart or anything, right? You should show the correct data, correct time in a correct way. That's why this Power Query part and DAX part and this data modeling parts, they are very important. Right? Sometimes your client might ask you, I just need a table. Just give me the correct data. You might have to combine multiple tables, multiple records, multiple data sources to get that simple table. Getting that simple table is very difficult. Getting the data for that simple table. Once you have the data, once you have the analytics with you, once you have the DAX codes with you, just 5 minutes to create the table. 5 minutes, 2 minutes actually. I'll guarantee you, once you master Power Query and DAX, creating a dashboard is just 1 hour work. Just 1 hour work, right? So this is the most critical thing. And after that is go to the visualization layer. As I told you, 80% work is done. Now we are going to visualization layer. In the visualization, you create bar chart, pie chart, line chart, table, KPI visuals, custom visual, whatever the visual you want, you create it over there. And still, this is on your laptop, right? Remember, report has been developed in your laptop yet. So you can't take your laptop and show to your management, right? You have to put it somewhere else. So you are pushing your dashboard in your laptop to a cloud. You're pushing it to a cloud called Power BI service. Okay? This publish is happened through a file format called .pbix, right? You're publishing a dashboard to a cloud called Power BI service. Inside of this Power BI service, there's something called App Workspace. It's like a folder where you keep all your dashboard. Right? Here you keep your dashboard, your reports, your workbooks. So what's the difference between dashboard and a report, guys? We'll discuss about that. So simply, most of the time, even though we say Power BI dashboard, we are not creating dashboard. We are creating Power BI reports actually, right? If it is a dashboard, it should be only one pager. Right? I'll tell you an example. If you see your car, if you see a car, in the car they have a dashboard, right? What do you see in the car dashboard? You will see odometer, speedometer, fuel gauge, right? What else? RPM meter, temperature gauge, those kind of things only you see in a car dashboard. What are those things? Those gauges in the car dashboard are the readings that will help your car move from point A to point B. Right? But if you take the same car to a service station and if you do a scan of your car, can like under the steering there's the port, you can plug the service people have this tablet, they plug it and give you a report, right? They print out a report and give it to you. So my car, the car that I had in Sri Lanka, I remember. So that car, I'm getting around like 6 pages report. It has like spark plug health, computer health, airbag working or not. There are multiple things are there, right? So you understand the difference, right? In a car dashboard, it is showing you important readings that will help you to move from point A to point B. If your car is in high temperature, you can't run your car, right? If your car does not have fuel, you can't run your car, right? But if your car, one spark plug is not working, obviously there's an issue, but still your car can run. If your car airbags are not working, there's an issue with the car, but car will run. Right? So that's the difference. In a business, we have dashboard and reports. Dashboard which should show only the most critical readings the company want to see. Maybe the the financial ratios, right? Maybe something like that, right? Maybe the profit margins, maybe the revenue, right? Those kind of things, right? Uh, that's basically dashboard should show. In a report, you can show many things: how many invoice process, how many customers come, how was the customers, growth rate, and all those things you can show. Right? They are important, but not critical, right? So similarly, you can have dashboard and report both in a workspace. Right? You can have both, right? And also there's something called workbooks. Workbooks means you can play with your data in a workbook in Power BI. So your service will be learning that, and also your data set for the dashboard will be also there. Right? And also in Power BI, you can create something called apps. You're gonna learn this one later on. It's called Power BI apps. Not Power Apps. Some people confuse on this, and it's called Power BI apps, right? Power BI apps also will help you to keep your dashboard, report all the things in one place, and also it will help you to create something called alerts in Power BI. So let's say you have a target for a day. Let's say it's a manufacturing plant. Every hour, 100 pieces should produce, and there's 1 hour that you have produced, not produced 100 pieces. Then there will be alert come. Can show like last hour it was only 90. You have to alert now. And there's also something called subscription. If you have a report that needed to be published every day at, let's say, 10 a.m. in the morning, you can create a Power BI report and you can create a subscription for that one. Subscription, what happens is when you create a subscription, every day at 8 a.m. in the morning, the Power BI will send an email with the dashboard as a PowerPoint or PDF. It will send a report as a subscription. That's called subscription. And also, you can print, export, download reports, and also you have access controls as well. Right? So you can see there are two type of people who can access to dashboard Power BI service. Some people are called members and admins. So they have full control of the dashboard, the Power BI service, and also there are someone called viewers. Viewers will have only viewing access only. Right? This admins and members, they have ability to create new dashboard using the existing data, or you can analyze the data in Excel as well. Viewers can see only data. That's it. Still, this is not completed. Still, our ecosystem is not completed. What is the reason? So if you can remember, I told you how this data flow happens. Let's say it's a SQL server data. Power BI getting the data from a SQL server, put it on the laptop. In the laptop, you have the Power Query, data, and report. And from here, it go to Power BI service. Imagine this report has to be refreshed every 3 hours. Every 3 hours, this has to be refreshed. So every 3 hours, you have to push the data to your laptop and pull the data to the laptop and push it to the cloud. You can't do it always, right? So once you publish your dashboard from your cloud to laptop to cloud, you can get rid of this part. You don't need this part anymore. This is no longer needed. Right? This has been already published. So what you have to do is, once you publish your dashboard to the cloud, you can create a connection between the cloud and the source directly. Right? For that one, we need to have a tool called a data gateway, on-premises data gateway. You want to learn how to create this on-premises data gateway. And on-premises data gateway, you can set up a time to refresh, let's say every 3 hours or once a day, once a week, whatever you like, right? You can set up a schedule frequency, or else you can create something called direct query. Direct query, to have a direct query, like you can't use Excel, you have to have something like, at least you should have SQL Server to do that one. Direct query is live connected, right? You can create a direct query as well. So that's the beauty of Power BI ecosystem, right? Once you do all those things, then you have a Power BI environment, which has sophisticated reports, right? So guys, does anyone has any question on this one? Any question? Right. And I have actually put a link on the chat, and I'll put it again. So if you guys are interested to continue the session, just make sure you guys come here and put your data here. It is a simple one. So it will be like this. It's a simple set of data. Right. So here you might have to, if you're planning to continue the session, please put your name, your contact number, and your WhatsApp number. If it's the same number, just put same, and your email address. If you're interesting, if you like only, you can put your university or email. That's not mandatory, and just help us to tell us where did you see us. I mean, where did you heard of us? Is it Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, or whatever, and you can submit the data. Right? Yes, Ajit.
Yeah, one question please. When
Yeah.
we are talking about the SQL servers, right,
Mhm.
data connection from the SQL servers, are you going to teach us about the SQL, that means um,
Querying.
queries and others? How to query the data from the
Uh,
table and whether, or
yeah,
do we
it's
have
it's
to?
gonna be it's gonna be like I can teach you some simple queries, but SQL queries, SQL is a separate environment, right? So therefore, we're not gonna do like much extent, but I'll teach you like how to create a simple query in Ajit. We can adjust it,
Oh, right. Thank you, Raj.
right? Any other question from anyone? Shamila, Ranjani, anything? Okay, so this recording will be shared with you, and also the course detail will be shared to you by the course coordinator, right? Uh, and also other
Hello.
details will be shared with you. Yeah,
Hello.
yeah, please.
Uh, Sir, I want to know the difference. What is the Power BI service and Power BI desktop?
Yeah. So Power BI desktop is our working environment, right? Development environment. So Power BI service is something like this. So actually, I was planning to do a quick hands-on, but we don't have much time for this one. So it's like this, right? So this is a Power BI desktop environment, right? So we have something like this. So this is a software that you install to your computer. Right? What's your good name? I can see only surname only. I can see only Chandrasekhar. What's your name?
Yeah, I'm Amal.
Yes, Saman. So this is like this, right? This is a software that you install to your computer, right? This is called Power BI desktop, right? Something like this, right? So once you publish your dashboard, publish in the sense we have an option called publish here. So we have an online version for Power BI as well. So this is the online version of Power BI. This is called Power BI service, right? So all the dashboard that you will create will be pushed to your online service, because you cannot share this Power BI desktop. You have to publish to a cloud and share the link on the cloud only. right? So this is called the Power BI service. So you'll be putting all the things here, and we will be sharing your dashboard from here as well, right? And also to use this Power BI service, you're going to need an account. Actually, I could not sit. I told you in the beginning of the session. Actually, to use the Power BI service, you're going to need a professional email address. Professional in the sense you can't use your Gmail address or your Ymail, Hotmail, this personal email address we have. We cannot use them for creating a Power BI service account. So therefore, we'll be giving you a Power BI service account with an email, a professional account, pro account. So pro account is costing around like $14 per month now. I think they have, yeah, around $14, I think. Yeah, $14. It's cost $14 per month. So we'll be giving you a Power BI Pro account for an year. Sorry, for a 6 month. For a 6 month of time, we'll be giving you a Power BI Pro account. Right? So you can use this. It is actually, it's not Power BI Pro account. We'll be giving you like Microsoft 365 E5 license. E5 means like this has everything. Like there are a lot of tools. Usually this cost $54 per month, right? $54 per month account will be given to you freely for 6 months, right? This has everything like Power BI, Power App, Power Automate, Power Pages, Excel, Word, all the things, and 1 TB hard or OneDrive, email address. Everything will be included. You'll be getting this account, which will, if you personally purchase it, it's gonna cost you $54. So we'll be giving it to you for free for 6 months of time as well, right? So
Okay. For
yes, Amal.
that in our organization we are not currently not using Power BI. If I follow this course, the in my company obviously has to purchase that software.
You have to
If I
purchase a license only. License in the sense Power BI service account has to be purchased. Software is free actually. Downloadable software is free. So
okay,
once you publish the dashboard, you need to have a license.
publish mean we have to
Put it
it mean
put it on the
it
cloud. Yeah.
mean sharing.
Share exactly.
If I prepare the presentation dashboard, if I want to share, I need the account.
Yeah. So you can actually use the account that I'm giving you to use in your organization as well. But in that way, you have to create a logic called share it to public. Public in the sense like everyone who will has the link will be able to see the dashboard. So that's not that much recommended. So therefore, the best thing is like in organization level, they should purchase a license, Aman.
It mean how many license we have to purchase normally?
So usually for the users who are going to use dashboard has to be purchased a license. Uh, you can actually, if you don't mind if I ask your company's name, please.
It's a BUI company,
Okay.
private company.
Okay. So like some companies purchase in organization level as well. So I'm not sure it won't be possible at this moment. So you might have to use the license for every user who is going to use this dashboard. And that's the one method. And also there's another method that you can use. Like some companies are using, like they purchase like couple of license only, like let's say like 5 license, and they share the credentials with the users. Like let's say they have a license called Viva 1, Viva 2, Viva 3, Viva 4, and they create the
Okay.
dashboard and share with those license, and they share the credentials, username and password of those account to these users, and they used to look like that as well. That method also can be used, but the thing is you have to share an account with someone else.
Okay. Other thing I want to know what is the difference between the Excel Power Query and Power Pivot and
Yeah, yeah,
the
it's a
data
good
modeling,
question.
and this one Power BI.
Yeah, so in Excel also we have Power Query, but if you see in Excel, there's a limitation for the data sources that we can use. For an example, so if you use Excel Power Query, you can see my screen, right?
Yeah. Now visible. Okay.
Okay. So in Excel also we have something, a Power Query tool. But if you see Excel Power Query, we have a handful of data sources that we can connect to a Excel Power Query, as well as the most like layout almost like 90% is similar. But if you see in Excel, if you go to new sources, these are the old sources that we can use. Like you can see, we have around 40, 30 something sources only we have that we can connect in Excel Power Query. But in Power BI Power Query, right, in Power BI Power Query, so if you see the data sources that we can connect, it has more than 200 data sources that we can connect, as well as this is embedded with some ML, machine learning algorithms, as well as some additional features which is not available in Power BI service, Excel Power BI. You can see these are not available in Excel Power BI, right? See, all these things can be, these are available in Power BI service. And when it comes to the data modeling, as you mentioned, Excel also they have a data modeling method, but this is more advanced than data modeling that we are using in Excel, right? The thing is this, Amal, right? In Excel, whatever we do, there's a limitation of 1 million rows, right? The maximum that we can go in Excel is 1 million. Even if you exceed 200,000 rows, you know how hard is it to work in Excel, right? It gets stuck a lot, right? But in Power BI, right? In Power BI, so sure they can show you. I don't have, so this is the Excel modeling. Not sure if I get stuck. So this is where you use the Excel modeling, right? I hope you have worked with. So in this method, you can actually get some data sources and create some models. In Power BI, what happened is you does not have a limitation for your data. You don't have a limitation. You can even plug millions of records to your data set, right? Something like this. So this is a complex model that I have created. So you can create this kind of a complex model in Power BI. Right? You can see how many records that I have used. Something like this you can create. Got it?
Okay.
Okay, this has some additional features like, this has some row level security features and language features, and this has a feature called calculation groups, right? All these can be used in Power BI modeling view. Okay.
Then
Cool.
actually currently we are using 365-degree version, MS Office. That one we have to download the Power BI desktop.
Yeah, you can download Power BI desktop from there. So if you're using 365, you can actually request for like E3 license for like couple of accounts. Then that way also you'll be able to what do you call, like, or get the Power BI license as well without additional some, only few additional. It's not going to be like $14 for each person. You can ask for a update for a few accounts only. Okay.
What is the version? Sorry.
You can get E3 or E5, Microsoft E3 or E5 license.
E3 or E5. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. E5 is better. If you can get E3 also fine.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
So that was a good question, Amar. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Right. So there's no question. So the coordinator will contact you guys if you are interested to join, right? Then you can, she might take a couple of days. It's up to you to decide. They will give you a couple of days to decide. And if you're interested, we'll be starting same time on next week, right? So next week we're going to start on 8 and we'll be doing up until 10:30. So I'm going to give you like 10 minutes, 15 minutes break in the middle. I know like you guys come from work and you guys are tired as well. So yeah, that's going to be how the plan is for the next week onwards, right? So we're going to officially start Power BI, Power Query Editor next week. And yeah, that's how the plan is going to be. Okay, guys, thank you very much for joining the session. I hope you have learned something out of the session, and I hope to see you all soon. Thank you so much, guys.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Okay, good night.
Thank you. Bye.